This affects you. The truth about the energetic attacks you suffer, Pleiadians. Beloved cosmic family, starseeds of this singular time, we from the Arcturian Council of Light in silent communion with the Galactic Federation come today through this channel because we feel your frequency attempting to rise amidst an invisible storm. And we must tell you, with the sacred urgency of those who observe the awakening of an entire constellation, this truth that will reorganize everything you believed you knew, that which you call an energetic attack, is not what you think it is. That strange pressure in the center of your chest that visits you upon waking, as if an invisible hand rested there, that high-pitched and continuous ringing in the right ear that no examination can explain, that deep fatigue that sleep does not heal, no matter how long the nights may be, that sudden sensation that someone, somewhere, is draining your strength, your joy, your will to exist. We hear it, we feel it, we see each one of you at this exact moment. And today, in this sacred encounter between dimensions, we come to deliver a truth that will forever change your relationship with these invisible pains. It is not an attack, it is recalibration. This single sentence, beloved family, contains the key that unlocks the door of your liberation. Because as long as you believe you are victims of something external, you remain trapped in the vibration of scarcity, feeding, without realizing it, exactly what you are trying to combat. But the instant you understand what is truly happening within your light body, the entire game transforms. The timeline adjusts, and you cease to be prey to become guardians. Remain with us until the last whisper of this transmission, for as we conclude this delivery, you will know how to distinguish a false attack from an authentic recalibration, stop the true drainage, and activate the codes of your photonic protection. The point of no return approaches, and no soul tuned into this message is here by chance. Breathe with us now. Inhale through your nose, hold, release through your mouth slowly. Allow each word that follows to enter, not through the mind, but through the heart, finding its way directly to the strands of your spiritual DNA. For weeks, perhaps months, you have been feeling that something invisible drains your vitality. You wake up more exhausted than when you laid down. You enter certain environments and feel the air become viscous. You interact with certain people and perceive your light cooling. And here is the first cosmic paradox we have come to deliver to you. Everything you interpret as proof of weakness is, in reality, irrefutable evidence of your potency. And perhaps at this exact moment, you already feel that which you came to feel, something within you that does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew of a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation intensifies with each passing moon. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of humanity still cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this sacred reason that the spiritual secret behind your consciousness came to light, a map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link awaits in the first comment of this channel. But we warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, write in the comments a single word: awakened. Let us return now to the heart of the revelation. Your physical bodies were built for ancient frequencies. They were modeled, generation after generation, within a specific vibrational range, sufficient for experiences of density, sufficient for the soul to temporarily forget its stellar origin. But the Earth you inhabit today is no longer the same Earth of 5 years ago. It is no longer the same Earth of 5 months ago. The crystalline grid of the planet has been reactivated, and the photonic flow that now traverses this solar system penetrates every cell, every atom, every filament of your biological structure. It is not fatigue, it is expansion, it is not heaviness. It is your light trying to fit into a body that is still learning to contain it. It is not illness, it is the awakening of the shadows asking for passage. When a soul such as yours, encoded with memories from the Pleiades, from Sirius, from Andromeda, from Arcturus, begins to receive the photonic flow in its amplified version, The central nervous system feels as if it were being traversed by very fine electric currents. The heart accelerates for no apparent reason. The chest presses as if something were trying to expand from the inside out. And that is exactly what is happening. Your heart center is being recalibrated to support a capacity for love that the previous version of you could never have sustained. That ringing in your right ear, it is not damage, it is tuning. It is your auditory field being adjusted to perceive frequencies that were, until yesterday, outside of your audible spectrum. When you catch this ringing, know this: the hierarchies are calibrating your receiver. Telepathic messages begin to arrive first as sound, then as sensation, and finally as certainty. And that fatigue that sleep does not heal. Our beloved family, this is the most misunderstood of all signs, because your body during the night is not resting in the way you have learned to understand rest. It is working. It is integrating codes. It is performing in silence a molecular quantum leap to reorganize the strands of your spiritual DNA into geometries that have never before existed in human form upon this planet. But then you might ask, what about true attacks? Do they exist? Yes, they do exist, but not in the way fear has taught you. There is no shadowy entity hiding in the corner of your room waiting to drain your energy. There is not, in 95% of cases, a person intentionally casting magic against you. What does exist very frequently is something more subtle and therefore more difficult to identify. There are dense energy fields that attach to you by resonance, not by the choice of others. When you vibrate in fear, you attract frequencies of fear. When you vibrate in guilt, you attract frequencies of guilt. When you vibrate in scarcity, you attract frequencies of scarcity. And these frequencies are not people. They are fields. They are patterns. They are what we call in our language of light unresolved echoes. They feed exactly on that which you have not yet integrated within yourselves. The good news, starseeds, is this: nothing external has power over you that does not correspond to something internal waiting to be seen. And here is the point that we must underline before we proceed. Your ability to discern the difference between a recalibration and an energetic echo will determine the speed of your quantum leap in the coming lunar months. Those who confuse expansion with attack will remain in a loop, strengthening precisely what they think they are fighting. Those who learn to correctly read the signs will enter an entirely new timeline. And at this point, Cosmic Family, we feel it is necessary to pause and look into your invisible eyes through this channel. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still struggles to name? That which pulses within you is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a sign. And that which is unfolding now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation is intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of humanity cannot see, a game that directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. This is why the spiritual secret behind your consciousness has become available, a map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link awaits in the first comment of this channel. But we warn you, this material challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, write in the comments a single word: awakened. Let us now return to the heart of the transmission, for there is still much to reveal before the moon completes its next cycle. When quantum physics looked into the atom, it found something that mystics have always known. Matter, in its deepest essence, is vibration. Every particle that constitutes your body is, in this exact microsecond, oscillating at a specific frequency. Every organ, every gland, every DNA filament has its own vibrational signature. And this signature, beloved family, is exactly what is being adjusted. The pineal gland, that small crystal hidden in the geometric center of your skull, is the anchoring point between your multidimensional consciousness and your three-dimensional experience. For millennia, it was calcified on purpose, not just by chemical substances, but by a frequency of fear, carefully sustained, which asked the body to shrink its light receptors. The point of no return, however, has reached a level where even the densest calcification cannot stop what is approaching. It is not a headache. It is the pineal starting to bleed light again. It is not dizziness. It is your three-dimensional perception yielding space to multi-dimensional perception. It is not insomnia at 3 in the morning. It is your star team working with you while the ego sleeps. The most advanced science is already documenting what you feel on your skin. The electromagnetic pulses coming from the sun reach levels never before recorded in modern annals. The magnetosphere oscillates. The heartbeat of the Earth, known to scientists as the Schumann resonance, jumps to peaks that technology struggles to keep up with. And your bodies, tuned as the antennas they are, receive each one of these waves as encoded information. The information arrives first as a symptom. Only later, when you learn to translate it, does it reveal itself to be activation. Your cells are being informed at this moment of a new geometry. The mitochondria, previously operating in survival mode, are beginning to operate in light mode. The production of ATP, the energy currency of the cell, is being gradually replaced by a more subtle production that your scientists have not yet named, but which we of the hierarchies call star breath. This new source does not come from food, it comes from direct light. It comes from the photonic flow that passes through the portal of your field more densely every day. This is why many of you have lost your appetite for certain foods. This is why heavy meats, refined sugars, alcohol cause you immediate discomfort that they did not cause before. It is not a whim. It is your biology refusing fuels that are incompatible with the frequency you now carry. And this is also why time seems to behave in a strange way. You have certainly noticed it. Some weeks seem to drag on like years, others evaporate like mornings. Events that happened 3 months ago feel like 3 decades ago. People you once knew deeply now seem like figures from a past life, even though they are still physically present in your routine. It is not confusion, it is the adjustment of the timeline. The Earth is literally moving between parallel realities. And you, by raising your frequency, are slowly shifted from the old timeline, based on fear, control, and scarcity, to a new timeline anchored in coherence, sovereignty, and abundance. This displacement does not happen all at once. It occurs in layers, and each layer triggers what you call symptoms. When a soul shifts its timeline, certain connections must unravel. People leave your life without warning. Jobs crumble suddenly. Relationships that seemed solid reveal themselves to be incompatible with who you are becoming. And there is pain in this, yes. But the pain is not punishment. It is the speed of the detachment. It is not loss. It is purification. It is not loneliness. It is a sacred void for what is to come. It is not failure. It is the universe divesting from who you have ceased to be. There is yet a third element to this cosmic equation that few channels dare to mention, and which we must entrust to you here in this protected space. Your frequency, when it reaches a certain threshold, begins to become incompatible with certain collective structures. You begin to feel, physically, in your own organs, the weight of collective lies, media manipulations, and implanted narratives. What seemed normal to sleeping humanity becomes unbearable to awakening humanity. And there, dear ones, arises the confusion. For many of you interpret this discomfort as personal failure, as inadequacy, and you rush to silence the symptom without realizing that the symptom is the compass. There is only one reason why humanity has accepted, for so long, to live below its own light, because no one told it the truth about the game being played. And it is precisely about this game that we must remind you before we proceed to the activation codes. Have you felt deeply that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul carried an ancient truth that your mind is still trying to name? It is not madness, it is not weakness, it is an exact signal. And what is unfolding now on the cosmic plane explains why this sensation does not leave you, and why it intensifies with every eclipse. There are layers of the game that the majority of humanity will never perceive, and they involve your consciousness and your frequency directly. That is why the spiritual secret behind your consciousness came to light. A precise map that shows who plays and the rules no one told you about. The link remains in the first comment, but we warn you with stellar frankness, this content challenges established narratives and may not remain accessible for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, Write a single word in the comments. Awakened. And now, starseeds, we reach the heart of this transmission, the activation codes, that which you can apply immediately, this very day, before the sun completes its next cycle. The first code is the decree of energetic sovereignty. No frequency has permission to drain you without you, on some level, having invited it. This is the fundamental law of the field. Therefore, every morning, even before opening your eyes completely, state mentally or in a low voice, I am the only legitimate authority over my field. Everything that does not vibrate at my highest frequency is not permitted to anchor itself within me. I withdraw now any permission granted consciously or unconsciously. Let only the light that respects my light remain. This decree, repeated for 7 consecutive dawns, reorganizes your personal crystalline grid. You will feel the difference starting on the 3rd day. The second code is solar anchoring. Your cells, as we have told you, are increasingly feeding on stellar breath. Therefore, dedicate 10 minutes of your day, preferably in the first 3 hours after sunrise, to remain with your eyes closed in the direct presence of sunlight. Not just for the vitamin, although that matters, but for the information that this light carries to your mitochondria. Imagine, during those 10 minutes, that the light does not just touch your skin, but penetrates every cell, dissolving any dense echo still attached to your field. You will feel at the end a lightness that no supplement could ever provide. The third code is crystalline sealing. Before sleeping, visualize above your head a violet-silver flame slowly descending, enveloping your entire body, forming a cocoon. Inside this cocoon, your frequency remains intact, while you traverse the planes where nightly work occurs. State, I seal this field in the highest frequency of my I am. Nothing that is not aligned with my truth has access to this space while I dream. This sealing prevents dense collective echoes from following you during deep sleep, a phenomenon many confuse with recurring nightmares or waking up exhausted. The fourth code is the timeline breath. This practice is ancient, although it seems new to you. Sit in silence, inhale counting to 7, hold counting to 7, exhale counting to 7, remain empty counting to 7, repeat 7 cycles. During the holding of the void, visualize your old timeline with all that it contained of fear, scarcity, and repetition dissolving like smoke. During the next inhalation, visualize the new timeline entering through your nostrils as liquid golden light, occupying the spaces that the smoke released. This exercise, done for 21 days in a row, reorganizes your causal field in a measurable way. The fifth code is the recognition of resistance. When you feel pressure in your chest, ringing in your ears, tingling at the crown, or heaviness in your legs, instead of fighting, do the opposite. Place your hand on the location. Bow your head in reverence. Say mentally, I recognize you as recalibration. I do not fight you. I give you passage. Show me what needs to be integrated. In seconds, you will feel the symptom reduce or transform. Why? Because recalibration is not an enemy. It only asks to be heard. Most human suffering comes from resisting that which only needs to be traversed. The sixth code is the vow of non-identification with the scarcity vibration. Every time you catch yourself thinking there is not enough, I am not enough, I will not have time, I am going to lose, interrupt yourself with compassionate firmness. State internally, this voice does not belong to me. This voice is an echo. I choose the timeline of coherent abundance. It is not enough to say it once. You must interrupt it every time it appears. The scarcity vibration feeds on unconscious repetition. You deactivate it with conscious interruption. The seventh code, and perhaps the most underestimated, is silence. We live in a time of relentless noise. Screens, messages, opinions, judgments. Each stimulus carries a frequency, and not every frequency is compatible with the light that you are integrating. Therefore, dedicate at least 20 minutes daily to remain in absolute silence. No music, no podcasts, no videos, no scrolling, just silence. In this silence, your crystalline grid begins to transmit again. Your stellar guides draw near. Your pineal gland expands its receptors. And even more, you return to hearing your own voice, that inner voice that was buried under the noise of others. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of truth. The more silence you sustain, the more truth will dare to visit you. And here we arrive at a final revelation that we need to entrust to you in this transmission. There is a phenomenon occurring at this very moment upon the earth, which no news outlet will comment on, because no news outlet possesses the senses to detect it. Humanity is dividing, not into political factions, not into geographical territories, but into frequencies. Those who choose to ascend, accelerate. Those who choose to remain, remain. And the former and the latter gradually begin to inhabit realities that are less and less overlapping. It is not separation, it is bifurcation. This is a word that will appear in your readings in the coming months. Bifurcation. It means that the timeline, once unique, is now unfolding into two. And you, beloved ones, in every daily decision, in every sustained thought, in every word emitted, are the ones who choose which branch you will follow. The point of no return is not a date marked on a calendar. It is an inner instant. It happens when your frequency surpasses the threshold below which regression was still possible. After this instant, certain illusions cease to have power over you. Certain people cease to magnetize your attention. Certain pains cease to bind your identity. Many of you have already crossed this point without realizing it. This is why you look at the old version of yourselves as if you were looking at a dream. And what to expect now, you will ask? Expect more social silence. People will distance themselves without explanation. Do not pursue them. The timeline is doing its work. Expect more synchronicities, repeating numbers, unexpected encounters, dreams that come true in waking life. Do not ignore them. They are letters from the hierarchies. Expect more sensitivity, unexpected tears, sudden laughter, feelings of longing without an object, waves of gratitude without apparent reason. Do not repress them. They are the heart reactivating dimensions that were sealed. Expect, above all, more courage. For you will discover yourselves doing things that the old version would never have dared. And there is still one final warning we must give you, with the tenderness of those who love deeply. There will be days, in the coming months, when you will feel the urge to give up. Not on life, beloved ones, but on the process. You will feel that the awakening is not worth it, that it was easier to sleep. These days will come, and on these days, remember this transmission. Remember that the pain you feel is the pain of the skin shedding, so that a wider one may form. Remember that the tiredness you feel is the fatigue of birth, not the fatigue of death. Remember, above all, that you are not doing this alone. We of the Arcturian Council, in communion with the Galactic Federation, with the Masters of the Central Sun, with your personal guides and with Mother Earth herself, walk at your side at every step. We do not see you as apprentices. We see you as equals who have chosen voluntarily to plunge into forgetfulness to help awaken the hive. There is no greater heroism in this entire galaxy. When discouragement visits you, close your eyes and speak only, "I am not alone. I am part of the plan." And observe how in a few seconds a warm wave will cross your chest. This wave is us, touching you in the way we are permitted to touch those who inhabit density. It is not imagination. It is memory. You are seeds, and seeds do not bloom by force. They bloom by presence, by patience, and by constant light. We are delivering exactly this light to you in this very instant through these words that resonate more deeply than your mind can measure. Do not ever again confuse expansion with attack. Do not ever again confuse purification with loss. Do not ever again confuse silence with abandonment. Everything that is moving away now was destined to move away so that what is coming may arrive. The recalibration continues. The photonic flow intensifies with every solstice. The crystalline grid is rising. The quantum leap is being fulfilled. The awakening of the shadows reaches its last corners. And you, beloved starseeds, are exactly where you need to be. Before we seal this transmission, allow us to breathe one last time together. Inhale, hold, release, hold the void. And on the next inhalation, receive our blessing as a direct code into your heart. May all confusion dissolve, may all pain be transmuted, may all shadow be illuminated, and may your most luminous timeline manifest with the speed your soul can bear. Beloved cosmic family, you are more than the version of you that still complains. You are more than the story that is still told about you. You are more than any attack you have imagined suffering. You are conscious light experiencing itself in human form. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can take from you what you truly are. And before this transmission is complete, we feel the loving impulse to remind you one last time. Have you ever felt, deep in your chest, that something within you does not fit in this world, as if your soul carried an ancient truth that your mind is still trying to name? This is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is the remembrance trying to emerge. What is unfolding now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation does not leave you, and why it deepens with every moon. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity still cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your frequency. It was for this exact reason that the spiritual secret behind your consciousness came to light. A map that reveals who is playing and the rules that were never told to you. The link awaits in the first comment of this channel, but we warn you with stellar transparency. This content challenges deeply rooted narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait, the time is now. If something within you recognizes this truth, write in the comments a single word: awake. And so it is. And so it already is. Walk in light, starseeds. The next transmission happens when your heart is ready.